Alright, everybody, so welcome back once again. Last session, you all had a meeting with the Keepers of the Flame and their charge, Thembershad, the Wormsmith, the adult red dragon responsible for keeping the forges of Gracklestugh lit. You were taken before this enormously rotund creature, and he had a bit of a proposition for you all. He knew through his own various means that his handlers were plotting against him. And so he asked that you simply do as they ask and report back to him before you report anything back to them. And as predicted, as you all left the presence of Thembershad the Wormsmith, the Keepers of the Flame did in fact draw you over for a private conversation in the Keeper of the Flame's private office. He told you the history of the Wormsmiths, Thembershad being far from the first, and, if all was to go to plan, far from the last red dragon that would be captive in this place. He told you about how they had possession of a red dragon egg that was to be Thembershad's replacement, but it was stolen from them some time ago by a group known as the Grey Ghosts, Gracklestugh's only thief/assassins guild, and a rather gray mark on the very Spartan community of Gracklestugh to have a group of cutthroats among them, operating with such impunity. So he asked you to track down this group and recover that dragon egg if you could, telling you all that doing so would be a massive service to Gracklestugh, and that if you could do this, then you would prove yourselves allies of the city, and thus gain an audience with Deep King himself. Now, to go about finding this egg, the Keepers of the Flame instructed you that it would be necessary to enter into a place called the Whorlstone Tunnels. Not much is known about these tunnels, only that they were recently discovered and that their entrance is unknown to all but except a few Darrow and the Grey Ghosts themselves. The Darrow, one of them being an individual by the name of Droki, a unique Darrow among his kind, would not be easy to spot, and so they set you all to keeping an eye on a watchtower on a guard post that overlooked the part of Ludiger's Furrow that the Darrow is known to frequent. As a quick refresher, Ludiger's Furrow is home to Gracklestugh's significant and unwanted Darrow population. Mad little creatures that kind of just bubbled up out of the Furrow one day and took up residence there, and eventually the Duergar decided that they were too much trouble to deal with, costing too many lives to remove from the Furrow, so instead they walled them into the place and set guards to keep an eye on them. While you were overlooking the Furrow, looking down and keeping an eye out for Droki, you did get into a bit of trouble. A previous battle that had been fought there had become home to a carrion crawler, feasting on the remains. When you all interrupted its feasting, it decided to have some live prey instead. Soon after it was defeated, though, you all did see Droki, the Darrow with the tricorn displacer beast tentacle hat, rushing down into the Furrow, down one of the many, many little slopes that lead down into the place. That is where we pick up today. Alright, everyone, so you have just seen Droki rush down there, stool drawing your attention to the one that you were looking for, and seeing him go down into the Furrow, quickly making his way towards the bottom of the Furrow, where the Darrow populace is thickest. What would you all like to do?
Well, there's that man. I think we've got to go after him, no?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, are you all giving chase?
So we've just saw him, exit or enter that.
You saw him
doorway.
enter into the furrow. You are all on the northern side currently, and you saw him across the way making his way down into the furrow across from you all.
Okay. Well, no time like the present. If he's the guy that we've got to talk to, we've got to follow now before he gets too far past.
Do we just yell at him to stop? Or are we trying to be sneaky about this?
Sure, if we yell at him, he'll just run faster.
Droki has reached the bottom of the furrow.
Okay, so I think we just need to go after him.
Okay,
I don't want
let's
to. Sorry?
Let's go.
Okay. So Sarah will go in pursuit.
Okay.
As quietly as she can, try not to draw attention to herself in case there's other Darrow around.
Okay. So you don't see any yet. It's too dark into the furrow to see too far. Droki just disappeared into the darkness below. But as you all head over the wall and begin making your way down, your entourage follows closely behind. Topsy and Turvy looking nervously from side to side as you make your way down these slopes, these steep, rocky slopes, and you begin to see more and more Darrow kind of poking their heads out of little hovels. And as you make your way down this, the stench in the air begins to change notably from acrid, metallic into a fetid and repugnant, almost like a heavy musk in the air. You begin to see homes, little shacks and huts, barely hovels, crudely carved from the rock, or even just holes in the wall, arranged in no apparent order in this area. As the path above below you begins to come into more view as you get closer, see that it is practically a sea of life down here. Darrow crawling over one another, crawling up the walls, chittering madly towards one another. The air itself seems alive with this chatter. It's quite unnerving. Hundreds of Darrow muttering, screaming at one another, otherwise reveling in their insanity and their madness. Few of them look over towards you as you make your way down. So many of them here, it's impossible to avoid the gaze of all of them. And those who spot you look at you all with an intense and burning hatred. One of them hisses as you go past. You can hear surfacers and things like that as you make your way past. You don't see Droki at the moment. Seemingly disappeared into this sea of life.
Can I look for him?
Make a survival check.
Survival, not perception.
Yeah, anybody that would like to search, make a survival check. Oh, nice.
What's that get? Open up my character sheet.
It's okay. We got a 20 in there. Cillian.
Yeah, we're good.
You can see.
Sarah.
Sorry. Oh.
1 minus 1 equals 0.
Sarah begins charging in the wrong direction, thinking that she spots Droki, but Cillian, with a quick grasp, sends you all in the right direction as the people... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, this way.
Are you sure? I swear I saw him go that way.
So taking a look at the crowd and the groups of Darrow kind of clustered around, Cillian, you're able to see a small group of them kind of beginning to form back into a path that had just been made, as if somebody had just passed through that area. So how are you all traveling through here? All of these Darrows seem so caught up in their own insanity and their own little devices and things. You can see one of them is literally on the ground with a pile of rocks and he's counting it, and the counting that he's doing makes no sense at all. He's going like 1, 2 trillion, 67, 400, and he's just not making any sense at all. They all go about in that manner.
Schrodinger paid him no attention, just trying to not make eye contact with him.
Sarah would, if she caught the eye, or if they caught her eye, she would nod and smile in friendly manner.
So Sarah, they're constantly noticing you all as you pass, right? They're ignoring you for the most part, but it's impossible to go a few steps without having to step over one, or one having to scurry around you, and so on. But Sarah, when you smile back at one, it snarls at you. Like, it pulls its lips back as far as it can, exposing as much teeth as it can, and just snarls. It jumps in front of you. Both hands out. It doesn't have claws, but it thinks it does. Continues snarling at you. It seems to have mistaken your smile for a challenge of some kind.
No, we're just going about our business. Good day to you.
It begins shrieking at you in Undercommon. Who here speaks
What's it
Undercommon?
saying?
It is saying along the lines of, did you think it wasn't going to be a good day? Were you going to make it a bad day for me? Why should I need to have a good day because you say so? And it begins inching closer to Sarah. You can see a few of them are around, kind of beginning to gain interest in what's going on here.
I will respond in Undercommon with my hands up in a very non-threatening way. Big smile. Kind sir, we mean you no harm. We just need to make it through this plaza, for lack of a better word.
You're speaking to an in Undercommon?
Yes.
Okay.
Ignore my companion. She's muddled in the head when it comes to communication.
And you said you're smiling at it too, right? So it snarls at you even wider.
Yeah, but
baring its teeth at
nicer
you.
smile than what Sarah did. Sorry.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh god.
Do it at disadvantage.
Sarah's still smiling from ear to ear. Oh, lovely. Look at that.
Okay. So, Uranus with a 15, it's still swaying back and forth, feral in front of you. Its arms outstretched. It's still snarling at you. But so, what exactly do you say to it again?
I reassured him. I said we meant no harm, and that we were just trying to make our way through this plaza. We weren't here to, cause harm.
Okay. So it's snarling at you, and its hands are outstretched. Do you continue smiling at it? It seems that whenever you smile at it, it bares its teeth even more and kind of tries to, mimic you, but it sees it as a hostile gesture. Like you're baring your teeth at it like a wild animal would.
I'm pretty wise. I've got pretty good insight. I think I'd pick up on that. I'll stop smiling.
So once you stop smiling, it kind of sits there swaying in front of you a bit, and as you're talking to it, you can see it kind of begins to lose interest. Eventually it puts its hands down, sees something behind you all, and runs under your legs and through everybody.
Can I look behind me?
Yeah. Just a bunch of Darrow. You see the one that you were looking at on all fours, galloping away, sprinting on all fours in the opposite direction. Who knows what it found? Something more interesting than you.
It's obviously he's been addled by something. It's not just this is like what a Darrow is like.
So, those of you that are familiar with the Underdark would know that they are just generally insane creatures. It is part of their nature. They are extremely susceptible to madness, and let's go ahead and get a history check from somebody if you'd like to know more about these little creatures. Ooh, okay. All right. So these creatures, they kind of they kind of slink about through the darkness of the Underdark, looking for places that are safe and then turning them into like hovels, almost like hives. Um, they are very paranoid and equally vicious. They are dwarf adjacent, but they have been pushed down in the dwarf society so far and so long that they kind of turned into their own subspecies. They are naturally very predatory. They prey on those weaker than themselves because that is what they know throughout their history, right? After being oppressed by the Duergar for so long, they see survival as who can oppress the other more. Being so small, they don't get that opportunity often, unfortunately for them. But they are, by their very nature, insane. Kind of like redcaps and madcaps, driven to madness by their circumstances over the generations.
Fun.
Well, I say we handled that quite well, Aranas.
Yes, your aid was beyond reproach. I could not have done it without you.
Ah, Aranas, yes. Nice. Okay. Well, I say we're making good headway here, and we keep moving forward. These people like us. Best to move with pace.
As Sarah says that, a piece of something flies over and smacks her on the side of the shoulder.
Oi!
Do I know what it? Do I want to know what it is?
It doesn't smell nice.
She looks into the crowd. No, thank you. None of that, please. And keeps
I-
walking ahead.
Try to resist laughing.
Alright, everybody. So if you are doing your best to move through this area without drawing attention to yourself, I need a group stealth check.
Okay.
Sarah's just pulling out all the stops today.
Could I ask Elistry for assistance in the form of guidance?
Okay.
Or is this too much of an abstract action?
Momentary. It's yeah. Go ahead.
Yay.
You needed it.
I'm in heavy armor.
Are you wearing medium armor, but it's jangly, right?
Gelmo.
Yeah, it makes a lot of noise. So Sarah had a 4, Schrodinger a 19, and Uranus a 11. It's not bad. Okay.
Oh, great.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a total of 13. 13 is the average. Now we just got to get your companions. Sareth seems absolutely disgusted by everything that he sees around him. You can see him doing his best. It's almost like he wishes he could hover around, but Sareth does not quite know how to do those levitation things just yet.
Just jet.
Yeah, not everybody gets levitation. Only the fancy drug get levitation innately. So it's almost like he wishes he could just like hover above all of this, and every step he takes is just full of disgust. Eldith is looking on piteously upon all these creatures. Topsy and Turvy just have their guards up, and Prince Darendil seems rather put off by all of this. He is constantly wiping stuff off of his tunic, which is I forgot to mention this before, but he had his tunics pressed and cleaned, so he is still wearing rags, but they are very nice looking rags. And Shushar, just moving around to the center of everybody. Finally beginning to have his drink wear off, he looks rather concerned. But with all of them, let's see. Just a straight roll for all of them. Okay. They stick together, tightly knit. And luckily for you all, these Darrow are too preoccupied with their own madness and their own activities to pay too much attention to you, aside from the passing snarl or hiss or flinging of some sort of garbage or who knows what else in your general direction. But for the most part, they do leave you alone.
That's good.
Cillian, do you still have an eye on him? on Droki.
Haven't taken my eyes off the trail while you guys were having smiling fights.
Okay. So, we will do one more check, Cillian, to see if you can still maintain the trail. Let's get one more survival check out of there. 15, fantastic. So, the trail goes cold for a moment. For a few minutes as you're making your way through the furrow down here. But you're beginning to notice that the population is beginning to thin out a bit, which is not saying much. There's still dozens of Darrows scurrying about down here. But they do manage to thin out a bit. And see that Droki has gone into the less populated area of the tunnels and seems to have gone behind a few of the hovels. A small cluster of hovels over here. Appears to be a narrow fissure in the wall behind the wall, Cillian, that his tracks are leading you towards.
I think we best be careful now. Do you think he went? Do you think he went through the crack in the wall?
Cillian, your tracks led you behind this cluster of hovels. You see, as you all turn the corner, you see a narrow fissure in the wall of the chasm here behind these structures. Faint wisps of this strangely hued mist kind of drifting away from it. Eerie fog. You can see that it looks like scraps of cloth and gray sheets and canvas and moldy boxes have been shoved up around the crevice to try and hide it from view, but you all can still see the top of it poking out over the top, poking out from above these makeshift hiding places. It's very obviously that it's just designed to block view from small folk.
So could we fit through that? Like, is it big enough to allow us to pass?
You all would probably need to move some of the boxes and stuff out of the way to get in there. It looks like Droki just squeezed through. Topsy and Turvy might be able to get through, but the rest of you would need to move some stuff. Alternatively, you could crawl over the boxes and everything to get to the upper part of the fissure, where
And there's wispy smoke coming out of it?
yeah, there is wisps of eerie fog kind of drifting away from the chasm. It has a faint, almost purplish pink glow to it if it catches light in the right way.
Now that doesn't look normal. Schrodinger, what is that? I've not seen purple fog before. If Sarah sniffs the air, does it smell weirder than it already smells down here?
Make a perception check. It definitely smells different in there, Sarah. Exactly what it may be, you can't quite put your finger on, but definitely has a different aroma to it.
Don't know if I want to step into that. Something's telling me, I don't know.
Have you ever come across something like this, Sareth?
Sareth kind of looks at it and he says that the color is similar to the phasers crystals that light and give power to Menzoberran's on.
Sarah will take like a piece of, I don't know, ration or something and toss it into the fog to see what happens.
The fog parts, kind of wisps around in that twirly way that smoke does. The ration strikes the ground. About a half a second later, a Darrow appears out of nowhere, snatches it, and runs off into the darkness. Looks like he crawled out of a little hole in the fissure.
Well, what do you say? Go in?
Yeah, cool. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, Cillian?
Yes. I say we
Oh,
follow.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are we going to move these boxes out of the way or just kind of puff over them? So Sarah will walk up to the fissure and sort of just move a box out of the way.
Right. The fissure is wide enough for all of you to enter in through.
And she will step through, eyes open.
The area is dimly lit by, as you make your way in, looking inside of the fissure, you can see that it extends deep into the furrow, heading northward along the wall there. As you all make your way further in, you can see that it begins to brighten slightly, but still, it does begin to brighten a bit. As you can see that there's a glow of that phasers coming from pretty much every surface, little pieces of it sticking out from the wall, even large clusters of it embedded in the ground as you begin to walk through, all of it emitting a soft purplish glow. Kind of casts an eerie, soft light across this area. And we'll go ahead and move you all here. This is a rather large map, everybody. I tried to shrink it down as much as I could, but now that you are all here, can everybody see
Yes.
the small area around your group token?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Each one of these squares represents 25 feet or so. It's not
God.
all exactly to scale. There are some things that are going to be smaller than they appear, other things are going to be much larger than they appear. But this is your general movement through these caverns as we progress. You should all have control of that token. You may move it freely. I will describe things that you come across as you come across them. As usual, when we're doing these kind of dungeon crawls, make sure that where you move the token is where you want it to move. You can move it yourself, or you can tell me you want it moved somewhere, but as soon as the token drops somewhere, that is where you all are.
And the visibility as we're moving through it's clearing or getting lighter, you said?
It is getting brighter, but the haziness is making it difficult to see past a couple hundred feet ahead of you. The caverns that you're entering into right now are immense, but in their immensity, it does make it a bit harder to see through them.
It's difficult to see. I think we should hug the wall. If everyone
So,
agrees, I'd say move the
like
token
right here.
to the next to the wall. Yeah. Is that okay with everybody?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do it.
Okay. So, the glow of the phasers casts an eerie, soft light across this cavern, swirling into spiral patterns and casting dancing shadows from jagged pillars that line the walls. Now that you're deeper in here, you begin to get a better sense of what's around you. The air smells and tastes slightly metallic, and the sound around you is strangely muted. Water drips in front of you, makes no echo, as if you stood out in open air. Sareth kind of leans forward towards you all. He says, Phasers, Menzoberranzan has a very similar effect, but I've never seen it amplified to this degree. He takes his knuckle and he raps it against the side of the cavern, and it makes no sound. All you hear are those closest to Sareth can hear a dull thunking noise, as if the sound itself is having a hard time traveling through this area.
Can we move forward?
Yeah. So Cillian, Drogi's trail is still fresh in this area. It doesn't seem like many people come through here, so it's relatively easy to track where he's headed. He did come down this passageway.
group and say, let us continue. Just keep an eye out for any hazards or booby traps.
Oh yes, there might be traps. Cillian, are you going to lead the way?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Okay. I feel like this might be the slowest dungeon crawl ever.
Right. So you don't have to worry about just running headlong into a trap or anything
Okay.
like that. So anything that would be hazardous, you will see. So don't worry too much. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I see that I put the fear into you all a little bit too heavily there. But yeah, you all can move. Not, as long as you're not like teleporting forward 5 or 6 squares, you'll be fine.
Is everybody okay with this pace?
I really need to set up the it's a trap thing, so that way it's like it's a API that I can like designate squares to force stop you all. So that way, like if you get to something that you should be looking at, it'll stop you. Much like the corpse lying face down in the center of the cavern, about 10 feet ahead of you all. It's lying smack dab in the middle of the cavern, face down.
I check our surroundings.
Make a perception check.
Like this system and looking around, especially the ceilings.
Especially the
Never mind.
ceilings, right? Paranoia.
30.
30, you say? Okay.
I see everything.
I see all. Okay. So, with a 30, the body has been there for a very long time, Uranus. You can tell that it hasn't been disturbed for some time. You don't see anything else around you. Around the corner, you begin to get the pungent aroma of a fungal patch, something that you smelt a few times and encountered a few times that you've been down here. But furthermore, you can tell that up and around the corner, you get the absolute reek of decay coming from a cavern. The cavern to the south of you all. You can see out ahead of you there. The body itself makes no movement, though.
You said corpse, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see nothing around us. I approach it slowly because I would like to attempt to identify what it died of.
Okay.
Or what killed her.
So it's laying face down,
But,
splayed out. There's no obvious signs of disturbance on its back. It doesn't stab. There's no spear sticking out of its back, anything like that.
I will have a dagger out because, you know, I know undead are a thing.
Okay.
I will gently flip it over. Actually, what do I have on me? I have a... Using... I assume I've got like a scabbard for my rapier.
Okay.
I will use my at a distance, just nudge it over so that the front of the corpse is facing upwards.
All right.
I trust nothing.
So as you're rolling it over, it's kind of sticks to the ground, and you can see flesh and stringy bits of matter sticking to the ground as you begin to flip it. And with a wet thud, much of the flesh tearing away from its face, it slaps over onto the back, and Uranus, it looks up towards you. Flee this place, mortals! And then vomits maggots in a 10-foot cone straight into your direction.
I mean, Uranus yells and jumps backwards. He's screaming.
It begins to rise up to its feet. Its entire lower jaw was left behind on the floor, ripped away as you turned it over.
Gross.
It now
Back up.
falls. It says, "These tunnels belong to the dead, the damned, and the mad." And it begins to step towards you.
Shoot it.
I shoot it!
stab
Alright, everybody. Give me just a moment here.
Did any of the maggots get on me?
Oh yeah, they're like all in your clothes and your boots.
Sarah,
Maybe he's trying to heal you the way Tryson does.
I did not consent.
Alright, everybody. And Uranus is nice and up in the front there. We grab everybody else. Nice. I thought I'd copied them. Hell yeah.
I guess I'm there.
And everybody, let's roll initiative.
That's not bad for me.
Okay, so Sereth is controlled by Uranus and Eldeth. Sarah, did you still want Eldeth?
Sure.
Fantastic. Okay,
And also have
so
Sereth.
we'll go ahead and roll one initiative for all of them, and we'll have it be Sereth this time. That is actually rather thematic, isn't it? All right. So, this corpse, you can now tell that this individual was once a human man. His clothes say that he might have been once from Neverwinter or Waterdeep or one of the bigger cities. Probably Neverwinter, as he is dressed in warmer clothing, farther to the north. But aside from that, this man has been down here for months, at least. With that, it lashes one of its arms forward, and it reaches out towards you, Uranus, but instead of reaching out, the wrist pops down at the wrist and kind of detaches and breaks away. Strange coagulated black blood begins to ooze from it, and a tentacled arm begins to regrow out of where that wound was and whip out towards you.
Wooden flare.
Disadvantage is only an 11 to hit Uranus.
Oh, thank God, that misses.
Alright.
It's not
Cillian,
me getting...
go ahead and make one free attack, as that's how we started off this whole thing, with you shooting it. So go ahead and roll that attack, and then we'll start your turn. $18 does hit.
Or piercing.
4 piercing. So it strikes it squarely in the chest, and you can see it breaks through the rotten skin, but then strikes something more solid beneath it. It only takes 2 points.
Well, if at first you don't fully succeed, shoot it twice more.
13 does not hit. 21, however, does for another 2 points.
On that 13, stand by.
Turns that into a 20.
Only good. 20. Yep.
Hell yeah, that hits. Another 2. It kind of rolls its head back as these arrows keep striking into its body. It begins cackling, its tongue lolling without a jaw to support it against its chest. Anything
I
else?
think that'll be all for now.
Sarah.
Oh, Uranus, the maggots. Oh, I'll have at ye. And she bonus action Shield of Faith, and she will hit it with her longsword.
Awesome. 16 hits.
And she will add smite to
Hell
this.
yeah.
as well.
So it only takes 4 of that damage.
Feel my light go through your body. 11 radiant damage.
Hell yeah, it does take all of that. Oh, I totally forgot. Uranus, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw after it threw up those maggots all over you. Okay.
Am I scared of her?
You are. You are
Okay.
indeed. Furthermore, I need everybody that saw it to make a wisdom saving throw as well. Your DC is much lower than Aranis's was, but you do still need to save against that horrid display.
Everyone that saw it?
Everyone that saw it, including the NPCs.
Oh.
Okay. Wisdom. DC is only 10. You all are unaffected by it. It was rather horrid, but you've seen worse. The NPCs, on the other hand. Sarah, could you please roll for Eldeth?
It's just a straight wisdom?
Yep, wisdom saving throw. Okay. Stool. Okay, so Topsy and Turvy and Stool all freeze in their tracks and are absolutely terrified by this event.
How do I do wisdom saving throw on the sheet?
Oh, on the sheet. On the sheet, if she doesn't have proficiency in it, then you would just hit wisdom.
Okay.
She does have her token actions, though, and there's a little save button there for you to make it a little easier. Okay, so Eldeth is also frightened. Many of your compatriots have been thoroughly spooked by this event. Sarah, where was yours? Let's get your smite damage. 11. Yep, we got that. We got it. Okay.
So
And-
4 slashing 11.
Got it. Okay. So, Sarah, as you do that, it whips around towards you, flinging bits of goo and bits of desiccated flesh go flying off at you as it whips around to face you. And it shrieks, its tongue lolling, "You dare bring holy light here!" And it reaches out towards you, its other hand detaching and forming a tentacle out of it.
I
else?
do dare. I dare indeed. And she brandishes her sword, and that will be her turn.
Okay. Ranis. Ranis? Hello?
Okay.
Can y'all... Okay, my Discord audio's been acting weird. Just making sure you can all still hear me.
Yeah, so I have disadvantage. Can I reroll the check of it in my turn?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that's not too bad. Attack rolls, okay. So I'm looking at an attack roll. I will. Since I'm so close, when Sarah struck with her sword and did her special paladin thing, did it seem to hurt it more?
No, it just seemed to make it
Really?
angry.
Oh. Okay, never mind. I will cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
I'll do the roll now.
Wisdom save result is a 15.
Mother, damn it. Yep, that's my action. Bonus action will be... Why not? Let's waste the spell slot. Spiritual weapon.
Nice. Okay.
There. Please.
might really need to introduce folders into Roll20, like our my library of visual assets. There's no folders. Oh my God, I'm dumb. I don't know how long ago they added that, but they added that and I didn't notice. All right. Okay, here is your token.
Okay. I will stab at it.
Okay.
So, is it a disadvantage? I'm technically not rolling a weapon.
I believe so, because it still uses your attack stats and everything.
Oh. Fair enough. Okay, spiritual weapon.
It doesn't have its own set of stats like a Steel Defender or Homunculus would. 14 does hit, though. 13 does not.
Cool. That's all I do.
Okay. Schrodinger.
Schrodinger will. I'm going to cast Creek Bonfire between Uranus and Sarah, making a pit of green fire erupt underneath of the zombie thing.
Okay.
DC 13 dex save.
It does fail.
Takes 5 fire.
Oh yeah, Piranhas, go ahead and save against your fear. 5 fire, okay. You are no longer afraid.
Yay.
For bonus action, gonna first Schrodinger's going to step a little bit back, and as bonus action, send Nevermore, who's sitting on top of stool,
Okay.
to flap in front of the zombie's face. Give it disadvantage on attack.
Okay, sounds good.
That'll be all.
All right, let's get Sareth and Eldith, then I'll act for the rest of them.
Okay, Sareth make his. Sareth got an 11
He succeeded.
on his. Okay, cool. Sorry, we'll do this one.
Is not going to hit. And then Eldeth.
Oh, that will take her longbow. She's shaking though as she's preparing the shot.
10 is
Her 10
going to go
hits.
wide.
And with her second shot, she'll try and steady.
12 also is not going to do it.
Damn it, she says.
Okay. The others are too afraid to do anything. But
Should
Go
she
ahead.
do the wisdom save again? or
yes,
is
go
that
ahead and make a
for the
wisdom
group?
save for her, definitely.
Okay.
She does succeed this time. Turvy is still scared. As is Topsy. Stool is also still scared. But Prince Darendil never was, so he is going to roar and rush towards everybody, howling in fury. And he is going to begin laying into that creature with his claws. That is a miss, but second does hit. Half down to 3. Okay, so now that this thing is beginning to take some considerable damage, you can see that it appears to be something wearing the body of this man. As you're slashing holes in him, puncturing wounds, you can see this strange mass of almost what looks like writhing worms moving around beneath the surface of this being. It lashes out violently towards Sarah. Right, Uranus, you didn't deal any radiant damage to it, right?
No, unfortunately.
Okay. It does turn its eyes onto Sarah and lashes out. Sarah, that is a 20 to hit with Tentacle.
Ooh, it missed. Just glances off her shield.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay. Cillian, we are back to you. Alright. That's a hit.
Nice.
4. Another hit for 4. This one, Cillian strikes it squarely into its open and drooping mouth. And you can see it seems to have split the last little bit of flesh that was holding the skin suit thing that it's wearing together. The body of the man falls away, and there is just a mass of writhing tentacles swarming over one another, and a voice seems to emanate from it, and it says, "The darkness comes. The lords of the abyss have come." And then it just falls into a squirming, writhing pile of what looks like earthworms writhing over one another.
Are we out of initiative?
We are.
I sacred frame the worms.
Right. They squelch and make strange little screeching sounds as they burn and pop.
The Lords of the Abyss. That doesn't
Indeed.
sound too good.
He said that in common before he died?
He actually said that telepathically into each of your minds.
Oh yay.
Ooh, that's worse.
Do we have a light source with us?
Do you?
I will cast.
We got torches for days.
That's only a minute. What the hell? I'll cast light.
Okay.
That's gives us a good light for an hour.
Okay. Are any of you having trouble seeing on the map that you're currently on? Because each one of those squares is 25 feet, so you can actually see considerably far into this tunnel system.
I can see
I
pretty
can
far.
see.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so let me reiterate. There's no need to cast light because the phase risk crystals are providing illumination throughout the
Okay.
throughout the caverns.
Okay.
Sarah will put her hand to her shield, or her sword to her shield, and tap it. And with that, she's going to start using an innate sense that she has, her divine sense, to sort of see if she can sense evil as they're walking.
Sarah, you get the definite afterglow of a demon. The creature that you all just slew was abyssal in nature, was a demon.
Okay, and she'll also use it as she's walking forward to see if she can detect any problems up ahead.
Okay. How far does it go?
It lasts for 6 seconds, and you're gonna use it. Your charisma mod, number of times. It's 60 feet, and it affects anything that's not behind total cover.
Okay, so you do only get to use that a limited number of times, Sarah. So you used it once now. You did get the sense that that was a demon that you all just faced off with.
Okay.
So as Aranus just mentioned, you do have a limited number of uses for that. So let me know when you are using it, specifically when you activate it.
So 60 feet, would it be like a 60 foot, 60 feet of view? Oh, 60 feet in any direction then. Okay. Got it. Should we keep moving?
Are the walls like exposed stone?
They are.
Just right before we press on, can I put my hands on the stone like I did in Cairngorn and see if I get any premonition like last time?
Yes, you may. Give me just one moment. So, Cillian, as soon as you touch the stone, your hand just naturally falls onto a couple of smaller phasers deposits, and you do hear something strange at first. Voices. And they seem to be flowing through the walls away from you, deeper into the cavern. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me. Okay. Okay. You hear lots of different people talking, and the more you kind of focus on it and begin to try to understand, it sounds like the market above. Like you can, like almost like you were standing in the middle of the market, but the clarity of this sound quickly vanishes, as if it was kind of flowing away from you, flowing from the cavern into you and then out of you deeper into the cavern. All you can hear now is just dozens, if not hundreds, of voices softly muttering whenever you touch the wall.
Okay.
This effect repeats to lesser extents whenever you make direct contact with the phaser's crystal in this cavern. You can hear what sounds like the people above talking.
All right, let's press on.
You find yourselves at a crossroads. To the north, you see looks like a small cavern. It's like a small little cave area. There's short, stocky mushrooms filling the back of the cavern. This area up here to the north, and at the back of that area looks to be a small passage. Don't let the size of how that looks fool you. That passage is very narrow. Topsy and Turvy would even have a hard time getting through it if they were to try. To the south, you all see Bupido, the little Darrow man. Pokes his head from around the corner.
Bupido?
You've made it! You've made it all this way!
You're alive?
Yes! Yes, of course! Come! Come, follow me! Follow me! This way, friends! I have something so wonderful to show you all.
Can I insight him?
How far
Sure.
away is he when he
He
says
is,
how far away?
he's probably... He came out from this cavern right over here, right around this corner, so he's probably 45 feet away from you at the moment.
Okay. Sarah will use her divine sense at this time.
Can also help with that insight, just in case.
Bupido is not alive.
So she senses that he's undead.
He is a ghost.
That's not Bupido.
What do you mean? Of course I am! Friends! Friends, please! And he rushes towards you all with his hands outstretched. Stops just before he comes into contact with you, Sarah. Please, please don't leave me down here. Don't leave me again. I must show you the wonders that I have constructed since I came back home.
Bupido?
He looks real enough.
Is he saying this to Sarah or Sarah?
He's saying this directly to you, Sarah.
Oh.
Please, I have forgiven you all for leaving me back in that tunnel.
Leaving?
Wait.
I was eaten. Creatures from the dark came for my body. But then I found myself back here. Back home. Would you all like to see my home?
We didn't leave you. You sacrificed yourself.
He was actually running away when one of those things fell on his head.
Oh yeah, it was that guy. Okay.
Bupido,
I remember
not
now.
Jim Jar.
What do you mean we
Oh.
left you? You skipped up.
Okay.
You tried to
Yeah.
ditch us.
No,
You did
no,
it.
I simply went scout the tunnel ahead.
Without telling us or letting us know you were leaving.
Let me make it up to you, please. I have food, shelter, safe place to rest.
As good as that sounds, my friend, we are here for another purpose. And Sarah kind of steps back.
And
Bupido. Sorry.
oh, sorry. I was gonna say, can Cillian see, whatever his name, Roki's tracks? Are they leading the same direction Bupido's trying to lead us?
They are not. They are leading to the north.
Are there any
Bupido.
tracks leading down
Ooh, sorry.
to the south?
Go ahead and make a perception check, Schrodinger. Do you have dark vision? Oh, you don't need it.
Yes.
Never mind, my bad. Don't need it down here. Go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. With a 12. You don't see any tracks or anything like that. Looking behind Bupido, though, you do see a larger cavern beyond him. Appears to be weird shapes on the floor of the cavern behind Bupido, but you can't really make anything out.
Cillian, he's dead.
Bupido, you know that you, as much as it pains me to have to ask this question, but you know that you perished, don't you?
Bupido can't die. Bupido doesn't die. Not ever.
What do you
But-
mean?
You had a bit of an accident with a fissure.
He scratches at his head, and as he does, he kind of pulls a bit, and his skull begins to split, and then he lets it go, and it snaps back. He's like, no, no.
Yes, Bupido, I'm sorry.
Bupido
He
cannot
died.
die. Bupido
It-
brings death to others. Can't ever
He-
die.
Sarah takes out her sword.
Bupido, what do you mean?
I am the god of death. How can the god of death die? He begins to grow in size.
Bupido,
It's not Bupido!
everything
Let's get
comes
your
to an
weapon
end.
ready.
I
You're
am.
our friend.
It's not Bupido.
You all shall join my garden of
Ugh.
death.
I step behind Sarah.
Cillian.
And we're gonna
Okay.
go ahead and take our break right there,
Yes,
right
cause
before we
fear.
roll initiative.
I'm sick of being within melee range of things.
Alright, so we're back. Your former traveling companion Bupido has revealed himself to be occupying these caverns, trying to guide you all back towards his home. You all realized that something was a little off with him, and quickly determined him to be a ghost of his former self. And as you all began to question him and pose questions to him that he did not like, he began to change in front of you, growing in size and scope, becoming transparent. As he does all of this, you begin to hear howls and wails of several different people. At first, it seems like they were coming from the cavern behind Bupido, but soon you begin to see faces moving within his body. Screaming, agonized faces begin to press from his body, almost forming silhouettes, almost forming like molds against the inside of his clothing. And soon you can see straight through him, this incorporeal being that is claiming to be Bupido, could possibly be Bupido, has what looks to be dozens, if not hundreds, of other spirits trapped within his form. And with that, everybody, we are once more going to roll initiative.
Bupido, or whatever he is now.
This is what Bupido has turned into, everybody.
It's vengeful spirits.
What a dick.
he die in a very gruesome way?
He did. It was quite gruesome.
It like landed right on like top of his head, right?
Mm-hmm. Split him right down the middle.
Oh, yep.
I buried him with respect, built him a cairn and everything.
The disrespect.
Right? You'd think one's ghost would remember that. That's how The Witcher works.
Right. Uranus. Bubido looms up over you all. What do you do?
I will pull forth my my religious my religious focus, sorry. Mind blanked. I pull forth my religious focus and I will cast my channel divinity, my radiance of the dawn.
Okay.
Can he please make I think it's a constitution saving throw.
On save. Result is a nat 1.
That is not as much damage as I would have liked, but he takes 11 radiant damage.
Okay.
Holy
How-
symbol, that's what it's called.
Bubido howls, and the whirlwind of faces and moans continue to swirl about him.
Any magical darkness is dispelled.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my action. With my bonus action, I will cast again spiritual weapon, and I'll shove it right there.
Got
Please. Just to the right. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. And I will try to take a swipe at him.
19 hits.
19. Hell yeah.
For
11 force.
Fantastic, okay.
I'm sorry we couldn't save you, Bubido. But I will send you back to the afterlife. You deserve your rest.
Alright.
And I'll take a few steps away.
Okay. That is going to bring us to Sereth, Eldeth, and the other NPCs who will do what? Let's go ahead and start with Eldeth this
I
time.
forgot I didn't.
Eldath will steady her bow and ward it and find a path straight to him. And she'll release an arrow.
Okay,
17?
probably need to move a little bit to get that shot off. 17 does hit, though. Okay. The arrow passes straight through the incorporeal body of Bubido, dealing 3 points of piercing.
And she'll do the same once again.
12 just hits.
For
Okay.
5.
For 5. And Sereth.
Forgot
Zareth
a token on initiative, but I'm gonna fix that real quick.
will run over to his little buddy Uranus. And he will also fire on Bubido with his hand crossbow.
Okay.
And
It's
miss.
not going to do it.
Bloody hell, Zareth, you're making the drow look bad.
He just looks past you and says, "Sorry, I was a bit distracted. Did you see what's in there?" And he looks past everything, and you can see bodies littering the floor of the cave of the room that Bubido was calling his home.
Oh my god.
Can't tell
So
too
what
much,
did
but
you
now that
do?
Sereth is drawing your attention toward them, they seem to be arranged in some sort of a pattern. But that is all that you can see for now. As let's see. Yep. Topsy and Turvy are going to take defensive positions back here. And fire a couple hand crossbows. 18 and 12 both hit. For 11, halved down to 5. And then Prince Darendil will charge forward, howling once again. At 1 and an 8. He swings and misses both times. Right. Cillian, you are up.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
No, I was just focusing on moving.
Oh,
Pew,
okay.
pew. He's right below Darendil, right?
Yes.
My light's being weird. I can only see the corner of him from right there.
Oh, weird. Okay, 1 second. Let me fix that. This page is being very weird. Explorer mode was still on. There you go. What is... Yeah, something weird is definitely happening. 1 moment, Cillian. There you go.
So, first attack was a 15.
15 does hit.
8 damage. I'm guessing 11 misses.
11 does in fact miss.
Oh no. Does a 12 hit?
It does.
Okay. 4 damage.
So we got total here. Got 8, 12, 13, half down to 6.
And just because I don't like this situation at all, action surge. Shoot him again.
Okay. 25 certainly hits. Okay.
So 13 total. Next attack has advantage.
Got it. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, that's all.
Right, Schrodinger.
Going to get line of sight real quick. What the heck's going on in that room? Alright, let's try and not looking too much into that room at the moment. I'm going to cast... Schrodinger's going to cast Toll of the Dead on Bupido.
He does get a 13. That is a success, unfortunately.
It is. Evermore is just going to fly and rest on Stool's head.
Got it. Okay. So, Bupido continues his mad rant, stating that he is death, he is a god, and that you will all soon decorate his garden. With that, let's see. Cillian, you're the last one that damaged him, right? Yep. Cillian, he looks towards you and says, "Bear witness to my greatness." He reaches out one spectral hand towards you, Cillian, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Cillian, you do succeed. You begin to see strange images, but they are quickly snatched away from you as you resist. It then lashes out towards Prince Darendil and misses. Wow. Okay. You guys might be getting lucky here. Aranis, go ahead.
Okay. I
I
will.
think I missed my turn.
yeah.
Sarah, you're
Sarah's
5
5.
in initiative. Yep, go ahead.
Bear witness to the pointy end of my sword. And she'll come around here. And she will lunge at him with her sword.
Okay. 15 hits, and Sarah, we're the first one to hit him with a melee attack, if I'm not mistaken. Prince Darendale missed twice when he ran up.
Uh-oh.
I need you to make a wisdom save.
Okay. I'll take sessional,
Okay.
please.
So, Sarah, visions begin to flood into your mind as soon as your sword makes contact with Bupido. You see Bupido leaning over a paralyzed Duergar man. He has little knives and little instruments. Duergar's eyes dart back and forth while Bupido vivisects him. Another vision of a trap and what looks to be several Darrow fallen into it. Bupido looks over the pit and floods it. More visions begin to flood into your mind, Sarah, but you force them out, force them back before they can start to take any serious toll on your psyche. 15 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. I'll roll my damage and then I'll add smite to it.
Okay.
10 slashing.
So 5 slashing.
And I'm upcasting my smite to my 2nd level spell slot.
Okay.
So that's 4.
Huge, okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Alright, so a radiant burst of light flashes through Bupido, illuminating the entire cavern as bright glow for a brief moment. Bupido is still moving, but he seems to be losing a bit of his form.
I've seen what you've done, and now it's time to pay the piper. That'll be her turn.
Okay. Uranus.
Uranus will step here, hold up his hand, and he will channel the divine fury of Elistri into a guiding bolt.
Nice. 22
22.
certainly hits, yeah. Good hit.
Come on, damage.
Oh no!
Fine.
What is that?
That's 3 ones. Oh, come on.
Wow. Alright. It smacks
Yeah.
Bupido with a slight little pop.
Oh. Elestri's busy. That was just a taste of her power. She can't use all of it here. See how you feel about her sword instead.
That hits. Wow,
There you
okay.
go.
9. So, he kind of looks down as this like little pinprick just smacks him in the chest. He looks down at that, looks up towards you, and rushes towards you, Uranus, doing that whole like arms outstretched banshee rush towards you. And your spiritual weapon slams down onto Bupido from the side. Mirroring the wound that killed him, it smacks right into the top of his head and splits his head down the middle. He separates fully into 2 and then puffs away.
That first attack was merely a distraction, a goading attack. You fell into my clever trap.
Are there any actual remains of our former companion?
No, there are no remains of Bupido. He was here in spirit only. But, Cillian, as you look into that cavern, the stench of rotting meat is very clearly coming from this room. The floor is carpeted with humanoid remains in various forms and stages of decomposition. They appear to be arranged in a spiral pattern around the cave's center. An off-key humming can be heard throughout the cavern. And as you're looking in, little spectral flashes of Bupido can be seen scurrying between the bodies. If you focus on them for a brief moment, they vanish. It's almost like the Phaserus itself is projecting images of the little mad creatures scurrying around in here.
I don't know about you guys, but I want no part of that. The tracks lead this way.
Aye, there's evil about. I'll follow you, Cillian.
And I shall follow you both.
And I'll be behind.
Oh,
Thanks.
I thought we were going down.
I think it was to the north.
To the north is where the tracks went. Cillian, the tracks led to the cavern just around over here. I'll go ahead and put you all back on the main map until these ones become necessary again. But the tunnel with all the bodies is down here. The tracks lead up here. And then over here, you all see something else. There looks to be a pool down there. The tunnel slopes down to the edge of that pool, and it fills the cavern on that side. That's all you can see for now.
So it doesn't look... You said it was really tight to try and squeeze?
Up at the end of that cavern, yeah, it appears to only be maybe a foot wide at its widest portion, getting narrower as it goes in. Cillian, as you look at it, you don't even know how Bupido could have gotten in there. Even he would be too big to fit into there. Topsy and Turvy may be able to squeeze through if they really, really tried, but considering how far behind you were, it's unlikely he would have made it through there.
You're talking about Droki?
Droki, right.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Cillian?
I'm not sure. His tracks lead to this narrow fissure here, but even he would have struggled to fit through that.
Perhaps there's a... Maybe he went through a trap door or something.
Maybe. Can we look around and see
What
if
if he
there's
shrunk himself down?
Do any of you have shrinking magic?
I look at Sarah.
No.
I do. I mean, I can shrink myself down, but wasn't... is Droki not a Darrow?
He is.
Oh, maybe he shrunk himself? I don't know much about Darrow.
I mean, Darrows are pretty small.
They are.
Oh, Darrow are almost like Darragar, right? So it's possible they have the magic. More like a gnome.
Sarah,
Such a-
being
Size-wise,
more
I mean.
familiar with the Darrow, would tell you that they do not possess innate abilities to shrink or grow.
They do not possess innate abilities to shrink or grow.
I'm sorry,
They're pretty
I meant to say that Sereth would tell you that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Darrow are pretty small, aren't they? Just in general.
They are.
Could one fit through a gap like that?
With great difficulty.
But possible.
Possible. As far as you can see, unless the tunnel gets thinner farther in.
So Sarah would go to where I guess the footprints stop. I'm assuming they stop right outside the entrance. And she would sort of drop down and feel around on the ground for...
Let's go ahead and get perception and or survival checks.
Okay.
Anybody that would like to make them.
Or was it survival or perception?
Perception, right. Investigation would also be appropriate.
Schrodinger, you want to do investigation?
Investigation's the same. I could try.
Oh, I thought it might be different. That's fine.
Yeah, if it's the
I
same,
got an 11 on
if it's the
perception.
same, we'll just keep it there. Alright, so... Sarah, as you're investigating around, it looks that Bupido got his way right up to where he's at right now, right up to where you're looking, and then it does appear that his tracks shrink substantially. He appears to have halved himself in size somehow, and then ran past the fungus and the mushrooms near the back of the cavern into that little passageway.
Well, that's very odd. The footprints have gotten down to half in size. Perhaps he's a Durgar and not a Darrow. I don't see how we're going to follow him. Does anyone can have a look at the mushrooms, maybe?
What mushrooms?
There's mushrooms here, Aranis, against the back wall. Now, I know the mushrooms can have strange properties. Perhaps he... Does anyone want to try to eat a mushroom?
Could Shroom know anything about these mushrooms? Since Drayson's not here?
Yeah.
I mean, since Plaxton's not here.
Stool would only be able to tell you, as he's investigating, that there are two types of mushroom here that he does not recognize. The others are pretty standard and pretty normal, others that you've all encountered in your time in the Underdark. But there are two here that are new to him, new species. One of them, he points out, it has a thick base and stem and a squat profile. The other one is long and spindly with a small cap.
Well, I tell you what, I'm pretty good. I've got a strong stomach. If you want, I can try the mushroom to see.
What if you try one? Try one and have the other one in your hands. Be prepared just in case. Just in case if it cancels it out.
So I've got one here. It's small and squat, and then the other one is long and stringy. I think I should try the small one, right?
So, if it does anything, try the small one. And if anything bad happens, immediately get the other one.
Are you ready, Ananis, just in case I need your wonderful healing ways?
I clutch my holy symbol and raise a hand. I am ready. Alestri will not let you die tonight. I think. There's always a chance. I mean,
She's a little fickle, that one, isn't she?
she likes to be mysterious. Keep me on my toes.
Okay, so Sarah will pick up the... So you said there was one that was long and stringy, and one that was a little bit
Short
stumpy?
and squat, yep.
Okay, so she'll take the short and squat mushroom, kind of give it a sniff test.
Smells like
Smells
dirt.
fine. Smells like dirt. Okay, here we go. And she'll take a bite of the mushroom cap.
Okay. As soon as you bite into it, you can feel a strange contracting starting from within your belly. You can make a Constitution saving throw, or you can choose to not resist the effects.
I will not resist.
You begin to shrink.
Look at me, I'm a wee baby.
And by the time you finish that sentence, Sarah, you are half of your size.
Oh, look at this.
All of your gear, all of your
Imagine-
stuff is shrunk down with you.
I
I'm so
imagine
cute.
Sarah's voice just gets a little bit more high pitched to us, as if she's like speaking out of helium.
I'm so cute. Oh, you've all got to try this. And she'll toss the rest of the mushroom over to Cillian.
We should figure out how long it lasts. We don't want to.
Lillian will eat it.
What? It's a
You
good
also
point,
begin to
Irons.
shrink down, Cillian, to half your size, assuming that you intentionally fail to save.
I do.
I say
Hi.
let's gather a few extras to take with us. Aranis, you made a good point. We don't want to all of a sudden grow.
I know a bit about medicine. Could I estimate
Go ahead and make a
a
medicine check, yeah.
duration? Thank God. Oh, for the love of... What's if 9?
Schrodinger also knows some bit about medicine as well. You'd be able to help him out.
Sure.
Yes, let us
It's-
collaborate.
There we go. So,
Fucking hell. Sorry.
as you're all going over this and examining and trying to figure out the nature of these mushrooms, Sarah and Cillian are finding out that they're very much able to fit into the cavern. Explore first a little bit of it to make sure that there's no pitfalls or anything. And as they're doing that, Schrodinger is examining the mushroom. And Schrodinger, you are able to determine that the effects should be temporary. That the effects should only be a few minutes. And as you are coming to those conclusions, Sarah and Cillian return to their size, confirming the fact that these last about 10 minutes.
So 10 minutes worth of did it seem to happen after like they eat the whole thing, or just like half size because they only took like a little bit of a
They
bite?
each took a bite, although it is noted that Cillian's bite was considerably larger, but he did not stay small for any longer.
Okay.
So it's 10 minutes.
Can we see the end of this little tunnel?
No, but during Cillian and Sarah's short expedition into the tunnel, you did hear running water.
I kind of want to. I want to see if we can try and figure out how long this little tunnel is.
Schrodinger's
Make sure
gonna
we-
eat one of the small mushrooms.
Okay. You shrink.
Just everyone else was doing it.
So what do y'all want to do?
So I think what we want to do, we'll grab a bunch of the big ones and a bunch of the little ones, eat the small one, and run through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And if the tunnel takes longer than 10 minutes to traverse, then we'll pop another one in our mouth. Should we exit the tunnel and need to get big fast, we can eat one of the long stringy ones. That's my plan.
Don't necessarily know if those make you grow, though. Actually, while Schrodinger is small, can he like go over to one of the long stringy ones and just take a bite out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. You immediately grow back to your normal size.
There you go.
It does work.
Do we have enough mushrooms for everyone in our party to take a bite?
There are dozens of them here.
We should. You can dry mushrooms, can't you, to make them last longer?
It takes time, but yeah.
Ooh, let's harvest a bunch of these.
Let's make tea.
Mushroom tea?
We'll make tea and give it to Trazen next time we see him.
Why don't you just harvest out a bunch of these mushrooms and then just give them to him? He could probably do something faster than us.
Feed it to our enemies when they're unsuspecting.
Why don't you just
And
give them the
step on
traits and then not tell them what they do?
Yes, that worked too.
It's like that one time at
Okay, so
Thanksgiving.
So, okay, on the count of 3, we all eat a small mushroom. And then we have to run through the tunnel. Agreed?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's
You
do
all
this.
eat
Okay.
your
Oh,
mushrooms.
sorry. We have to count. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Whoop.
Eat.
Okay. So, each of you shrinks down to half your size and find yourselves able to fit into this crevice with some ease.
Can I ride
Griffin.
Jewel like a horse?
Sure, yeah.
Am I
Although,
small
yeah,
enough?
Stool's probably the only one that's small enough to move through here without having to squeeze. So yeah, Stool hasn't shrunk down at all. About maybe.
I lead the charge on stool.
So eventually, you all do cross over an opening, and you can see that water is flowing beneath this little crevasse, this little natural bridge that was formed here. Bupido definitely came this way. You can see little bits of trash kind of scattered about as if he was discarding things as he ran through here. After a while, you all do find yourselves out on the other side of the pool that you were just at. Now that you're on this side of the pool, you can see it a little bit better. The tunnel on the other side sloped down to the edge of the pool, and it filled this area of the cavern. The shore that you're on right now was about 100 feet from the other side. The surface of the water is black and oily now that you can see it. There does seem to be some phase rifts down at the bottom of the pool. You can see some slight pinkish glow coming from down there, but the surface is unnaturally still black.
I think we should touch that. Eat one of those long mushrooms.
So do you say you eat one of the long mushrooms?
Yes.
Okay, you revert back to your normal size.
So the cavern now is big enough, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I will eat it. She will eat a mushroom as well.
That goop looks oddly suspicious. Advised going near it or even touching it.
Cillian, did the footprints go to the water?
Do the footprints go to the water?
They do not. They traveled through the tunnel that you were just in, and then went north. And it appears that they turned into that southern passage there.
Over here?
Yep.
Oh. Well, I think we should
This
follow
way.
the foot. Yeah, we'll follow the footprints then. I don't like the water that we've encountered so far. Is that okay with everybody?
I'd like to stay away from water if possible.
Oh, so are two of us regular size, and is everyone regular size now, or?
Did anybody not eat one of the long, skinny mushrooms after coming out? Then I believe you are all assumed to be regular size.
Does being small riding a toadstool slow me down?
No.
Then I would just enjoy this until it wears off.
Awesome. So 10 minutes.
Estimating 9.5 minutes and then getting off stool so I don't crush them.
Got it. So, as you all turn that corner, following Bupido's footprints, you see something very strange in the tunnel ahead of you. The tunnel ahead widens out a bit into some sort of a natural cave, wherein you see several fungal creatures, not unlike Stool, dancing to a silent tune. 3 of them stand about 5 feet tall, while the others are half as tall as that. One of the small ones stands apart from the rest, its movements not nearly as frantic. Hunched nearby, towards the back of this cavern, are 2 creatures that resemble apes covered with mushrooms, growths of yellow mold, and other strange things on them. Directly behind this scene, you see a dense fungal forest blocking the tunnel. Its tallest specimens grow as tall as some 5 feet high. Even as you assess the area behind it, you begin to hear a strange hissing noise, like uncounted tiny voices whispering in tongues that you don't understand.
Stool, are these your people?
Stool kind of pushes forward, kind of seems to take in the scene in front of him. Lets out a puff of spores that you can all understand him. He says, "These are my people, but they act so strangely. I've never seen anything like this before. Rumpadump!" And then Stool goes bounding off into the middle of the mushrooms, into the middle of all these fungal people.
Stool, be careful.
Wait, Stool.
He just goes waddling off.
No, Stool.
Cillian going along for
Oh.
the ride.
Oh dear. Oh God, Cillian's on his back. I think we should follow.
Yes, let's follow.
Yeah,
So,
we'll see how this plays out.
Cillian, atop Stool. Go ahead and hold up your guys' token right there. This is where all of this is happening. The darker area is the fungal forest that all of this is happening in front of. Stool has not gone into the mushrooms. All of this is kind of happening at the entrance before entering that. In fact, let me just go ahead and grab you all and put you here. These maps are strangely put together, so it's not practical to put you all on the main map as you move about, but a lot of this is pretty close to one-to-one. So give me one moment, and I will put you all on this map. Okay, so Stool and a miniaturized Cillian have run up to there. Everyone else is at the entrance to the cave still. Okay, go.
Okay.
So, Stool has rushed up to the one myconid sitting in the back of the cavern that was not dancing, not moving around. Cillian, as you move through, you can see that the other mushroom people are ignoring you almost completely. Rushes up to the other one, and it says, "Cillian! Cillian, this is my friend Rumpadump! We knew each other back in Neverlight Grove." Rumpadump kind of looks towards you suspiciously. This is Rumpadump, by the way.
Greetings, Rumpadump.
It lets out a cloud of spores in your direction, and suddenly you can hear it speaking in your mind. And he says, "You are not myconid."
All my life. I am a human from the surface.
The above world. I've heard of such things. It looks back towards Stool. It says, "My family acts strange, Stool. What happens to them?" Gestures around towards the dancing myconids. And Stool tells you, Cillian, that this is not normal for myconids. They don't dance.
Do I see any traces of that, like, red fungus crap we dealt with a while back?
Make a perception check. Or better yet, make a nature check.
No, I like perception better.
You do in fact see that strange fungus. It seems to be coating the other myconids. Not Rumpadump, though.
I immediately eat the get bigger mushroom.
Okay.
Pick up Stool and take a few steps back from them.
Rumpadump kind of takes a step forward. Don't leave me.
Your family's infected with some sort of parasite. Be careful, you'll get it too.
They call it the lady's gift. You know what it is? You know what's wrong with them? Can you help them?
I don't know. Give me a moment, and I'll walk back towards the group, not, maybe like 10 feet away.
Okay. Rumpadump kind of backs back into his little corner.
Look at the group. They all have that red fungus that we dealt with in that cave. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Sareth looks very nervous. Something's not right. We should leave this place.
Hey, who said that?
Sareth.
How did we deal with it last time? Was it you, Sarah?
It was both of us, wasn't it?
I believe it was a restoration from, or a cure disease.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it? Doesn't lay on hands do disease? I think
I
that's how you
yes,
did it.
I can cure, but I don't think I have enough for everybody in the room.
Me neither. With my restoration, I can heal them, but what would this do?
Stool,
One of
what
the-
do you think?
Could I? So I have protection from evil and good. Would that have any effect? Are they possessed by this infection?
I'll let you make a religion check.
Oh, thank God.
They don't appear to
No.
be. There doesn't appear to be any sort of possession here. This is.
Damn. I do have my healer's kit, which I'm going to assume doesn't have anything for this. No.
Cillian, did Stool know that mushroom way in the back?
Yeah.
Sarah, as you say that, Stool runs into the middle of you all and lets out a puff of spores. You can all understand him. And he says, I do, Sarah, I do. He's my friend from Neverlight Grove. I don't know how he got all the way over here, though. And he looks back towards him. He says, he doesn't seem sick like the other ones. Can we take him with us, please?
Sure, why don't you call them over?
Stool jumps up and down a little bit, runs back over to Rumpadump. After a few moments, they both join you.
And the footprints go down this way?
They do. They go past all of these guys into the fungal forest over there.
Stool, ask your friend if he saw a little Darrow man go by this way.
Turns around towards Rumpadump. Turns back towards you. Says, yes, a very strange little Darrow came through here. Had some strange things hanging off of his hat, Rumpadump says. Says he went into the fungus.
What do you mean, strange things hanging off his hat?
Rumpadump begins to shift and his form kind of distends, and you see a couple of tentacly arms kind of start flailing about and then go back into him.
He had those hanging off his hat?
Rumpadump nods.
Oh dear. Oh boy. Do you think that Droki might be possessed by one of those tentacle things?
Rumbadump kind of shakes his head, makes the tentacles again, and then very abruptly drops them like they're dead.
What does that mean?
You remember they were saying when they were giving you the description of Droki that he had Displacer Beast tentacles sewn onto his hat.
Oh,
Yes,
yes. Sorry,
indeed.
sorry, sorry. Okay. Okay. Well, do you think your friends would let us through?
They say that they really don't do much of anything except for dance.
All right. Well, I suppose we've got to get through then. Your friend can come with. I can heal as many as I can. I can heal maybe 3 of them.
You should probably ask
Ask what?
Tarif. You should probably ask if they want. If you're allowed to. Sarif didn't respond very well.
Sereth is
To our
hiding
attempts.
behind Prince Darendil right now.
Rumpadump, are all of these number your family, or just a few of them?
He nods, says, "My troop. They're all my troop. Our father, he brought us here. Strange way. Said it was the lady's gift."
Does that sound familiar to me? Any myth or religion?
The lady could mean anybody.
Damn.
Says, "You could ask him. Vusper. He said it was very important that we came over here," and he gestures towards this one, right here. That's Father Vusper. He leads our troop. He brought us here, said we needed to dance for the lady. I don't dance, though. We shouldn't dance. It's very weird.
Is the lady here?
Vusper says the lady is everywhere.
This wouldn't be a spider lady, would it?
Spider? No, I don't think so.
Have you ever seen the lady?
He shakes his head. Says Vusper says he has, though.
What does she look like?
Vusper doesn't tell us. Simply says that he speaks to her, and she shows him beautiful things.
Would Whisper be willing to tell us these things?
Vusper will talk to anybody that wants to know about the lady.
Shall we learn more? Shorty's gonna look around to everybody. And do you all want to learn more about this lady?
The Myconids continue their strange, flowing dance.
Suppose it couldn't hurt to find out more.
So what is it exactly that this lady shows you?
Who are you asking this to?
The one, this one?
The big one? Okay. Go ahead and approach him. Anybody that would like to move into the tunnels, do so.
I yell it from the entrance of the tunnel. No, okay. I have to go in. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Oops. Sorry.
I guess I'll follow Sarah.
So
While
what
they're moving-
exactly does the lady show you?
The Myconid immediately stops dancing, holds still for a moment. Its arms drop down to its sides slowly. It turns towards you, Sarah, and big old poof cloud of spores come flying out at you. And suddenly you hear, "Greetings, surface dweller. I am Vusper."
Greetings.
Directly into your mind. The only ones that can hear him currently are Cillian, Sarah, and Aranis.
I'm fine with guarding the entrance.
Okay.
Greetings.
Yes. Seeing Cillian do that, suppose I'd do the same.
Okay. It looks towards you. "Fear not, surface dwellers. We do not gift the lady's blessing on those who do not wish for it." And the fact that you can hear him, Cillian and Aranis, means that the spores have already done their work. It's the same thing that Stool does. Just being in proximity to them is enough, whether or not you breathe them in or not.
So you mentioned some lady. And what does she show you?
Beauty. A world of ours. A world where we rule. It is beautiful. It's wonderful. She shares with us her gifts. It is how we came to be here. We may travel through the mycelium network of the Underdark freely, from one fungus to the next. Turns towards you, Cillian. Would you like the lady's gift, friend?
No, thank you.
It turns towards each of you in turn.
No, thank you.
Then pass in peace, friends. Goes back to dancing.
All right then. I say we do as the little mushroom says and pass in peace.
We will all meet you again in the lady's dream.
Alrighty then. Okay. Excuse me, Stool. We've got to make our way forward. Okay. Just hop over, Stool.
So y'all making your way through there? You all hear a commotion back in the hall. No! 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 I turn back here! You cannot take me through there. I will not go in there. Schrodinger, you can see Eldeth and Prince Darendil are desperately trying to calm Sereth down.
I will come back.
Yeah, Schrodinger would motion to Aranis that Sereth is having some issues.
Sareth.
He grabs you,
Please.
Aranis, by the shirt. I can hear her. We must leave this place. Must leave now.
We were confident that we fixed the problem, weren't we?
I mean, that problem with his red strand in his head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I believe we were fairly confident in the fact that is gone. I wonder if this is tied to it.
Sareth, I'm sorry this causes you such distress.
She whispers to me.
But I
She
know
asks
you're
why
strong
I left her.
enough Then tell her. To hell with her. You are Sareth. You are our friend and our ally. I know you're strong enough to resist her. She had no idea who she was messing with and she infected you.
Go and make a persuasion check.
Oh god. Please can I use guidance?
Sure, yeah. 17.
Ooh, 17.
Okay. Sareth takes a deep breath. Takes a few steadying breaths. Nods.
I will be with you the entire time.
Let's get this over with.
Actually, I will take off my holy symbol and I'll give it to him. For good luck.
He skeptically
And
kind
protection.
of just... Yeah, he kind of skeptically takes it.
She
Gives you-
protects me from all my fears. I know she'll do the same for you. It's fine, I got another.
Okay.
Let us move on. Yes? And I'll walk next to him the entire time.
Okay.
I'm supportive.
Alright. So, making your way through Stool, let's go ahead and just move you all back here for now so we're not all trying to squeeze through each other right there. You all know where you're at, you all know what you're doing.
Blossoms.
Is Rumpadump just gonna stay? Does he look completely helpless?
Rumpadump, I believe you all offered him to go with you all, so he is following behind Stool currently.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
Somebody,
Got
right,
another
Sarah,
one.
you said you could come with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's following through. Sareth has got his head down, his eyes closed, and he's clutching onto the holy symbol that Uranus just gave to him, taking deep breaths. Once Sareth gets into the middle of the room, all of the Myconids stop dancing and turn to stare at him.
Nothing to see here. Go back to your festivities.
They all kind of just stand, looming over, staring at Sareth as he passes.
They're just staring because they're so impressed with you.
Sareth has got his eyes
I
down.
would-
He's got his eyes down, his head down, his eyes screwed shut, and he's just walking through the middle of it all.
I'll stay close. I've got nothing I can... Wish I could cast calm emotions on him. I don't know. I know it doesn't do anything, but I cast guidance on him. I like to think it gives you like a warm, comforting feeling.
Okay. So, as you're all getting past all the Myconids, none of them block your way or try to stand in front of you or block you at all. They all just kind of watch Sareth go through. I'll make it to the other side of the cavern, the other side of all of these Myconids. They shift their direction to be facing Sareth as he goes through. And as you all get to the edge of the Myconid forest, to the edge of the fungal forest right here, each of them lets out an audible droning sound. Very odd. Myconids don't speak, but they all kind of make this strange vibrational sound that forms into words. And all of them facing towards Sareth, no mouths moving, nothing like that. This is all just coming directly from their bodies. A droning, almost airy voice says, "She waits for you." And then they all begin their dance again.
Well, tell her to keep waiting. Wait. Tell her to stop waiting. Come, Sarah, let's go.
Okay.
Cillian will take point and try to follow the tracks.
Okay. The tracks become near impossible to follow in here, Cillian. The fungus, it's a fungal forest. It is too dense, too thick in here to follow the tracks. But from what you can tell, there is only one place that he could have gone, which is through here. So, Cillian, you have point. Stool and rumpa-dump. Okay. So, this entire area is difficult terrain for you all. It's difficult to get through. Some of these mushrooms only go up to your waist, others tower up and over you 7 or 8 feet tall.
And are they phosphorescent or?
These mushrooms?
Mhm.
There's bits of phasris around, so they all glow a little bit with that strange light that the phasris has.
Mhm.
Aside from that, nothing too far out of the ordinary.
Quick question. Have we been traveling over an hour?
No.
Or actually, hold on. Because I have Natural Explorer and Underdark is my favorite terrain.
Okay.
I can negate difficult terrain.
Okay.
Ranger power.
It's in there somewhere. Yeah, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
Okay. Right. So, moving through this fungal thicket, I need each of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Make what?
Cillian, you can go ahead and do so at advantage. Dexterity saving throws from each of you, please.
It also says I remain alert to danger.
Okay.
Oh.
Uranus. You, stepping through the fungus, bring your foot down onto what appeared to be just the cap of a mushroom. But as your foot lands on it, it sinks down into it, cracking the top of it. And out of that mushroom cap spew hundreds, if not thousands, of centipedes.
Oh god, not again.
Roll initiative, everyone.
It's always me finding these.
It is. It's been you this entire session. I am mildly amused.
Last
You're-
session too.
You're curious, George. That's why.
I'm not curious. You can go fuck off.
Aw.
Centipedes last session. It's bugs and centipedes this session.
Make it.
Oh. I'm running out of spell slots.
Well, they're not necessarily. Well, I guess if I rolled initiative.
Ooh. No. Okay. Who gets to roll initiative for the party this time? Let's do Prince Darendil this time with a 10. Okay. All right. The insects begin to swarm up and around you all. Uranus as the one who disturbed them. That is a 21 to hit, Uranus.
Bloody warding flare.
12 to hit. They swarm up and
Misses.
over you, but your flare knocks them all back, shoving several of them to the floor. The next swarm approaches. That is only an 11 to hit.
Thank God.
Oh, shit.
What?
One moment. Plus 3. Okay, never mind. The attack does not change. I hit the A hit that has less than half HP button, but it wouldn't have changed the attack, just the damage, so you're good. Now, Sarah, disturbed by the commotion, more of these little swarms begin to erupt from these myconids, from these fungal growths, and one just happens to be right next to you. You know what? Let's go ahead and give it a 50-50 to see if it hits, if it goes after Topsy there. Sarah, you are 2. It goes for Topsy. That is a 20 to hit Topsy. The swarm engulfs Topsy, swarming up from his feet up towards his knees, and that is 12 points of piercing Topsy takes.
That's the end of Topsy.
He is hurting. That definitely hurt. The next pair swarm up. This one goes for either Stool or Darendil. It does go for Stool.
Oh no.
No.
This one rushes up over Stool. Oh, it gets a nat 1. Go Stool.
Oh my god.
The next one only has Prince Darendil to hit. Also misses Prince Darendil. Okay. Rannis.
I wish I hadn't wasted my channel divinity now. Would have been very useful right now. I will. How do cone attacks work again?
What are you casting?
I was thinking about burning hands.
Okay.
Would I be able to hit these two?
One moment, I will check for you. You should be good, but I will check. Okay. Alright, you are trying to cast Burning Hands.
Yes.
No, you would not be able to hit those two. So
Yeah.
the way that it works here, I'll get you a marker for it.
Does it expand from this square?
Okay, so this is the template for it,
This-
Uranus.
Cell 15-foot cone.
So
Yeah.
you could do it like that.
Damn. Okay. I won't do that then,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that would be it. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a really good spot to do it right now.
Later.
Like, if you were to rush over to here, and then send it this way, you could get both of them. Like, if you were to rush to here, or to, like, here,
Yeah.
then you could do it
I
like
will.
that.
Pull out my rapier.
Alright.
I will step. We have flanking in this game, don't we?
Yeah.
Step there. And stab this one. Well, try to slice them with my rapier.
Okay, which one?
The one between me and Sarah.
Got it. Let me know if the creepy crawly sound effects are bothering anybody. I know everybody doesn't enjoy that, so if it's bothering anyone, let me know and I'll turn it off.
Crit.
Crit, nice.
Oh.
9, fantastic. Okay, several of the little critters are dead, but unfortunately there is still more than half of them left.
Just quickly double checking. Bonus actions. I don't think I've got any that are useful. No, that's it.
Okay, Schrodinger.
Going to create bonfire in between the one Uranus and Sarag.
Okay, dex save. Result is a 12.
A green lit bonfire erupts underneath of that batch of centipedes. Just 2 damage.
Awesome.
Well, 2 fire damage. Don't know if that matters.
I don't think there's any sort of vulnerability to fire for these guys, but I'll check. No vulnerabilities.
Darn.
That does drop it below half HP, though.
Don't know what that does, but
There's less
Can't wait.
centipedes.
can't wait. Can't wait to find out. And Nevermore is just gonna stay on top of. He's gonna fly around and sit on top of Trazen.
Got it. So first things first, Stool's gonna disengage and run away. Where'd Rumpadump go? Lost him. Oh, he's in here somewhere. There he is. Joins Stool. Prince Darendil slashes out at a couple of the swarms and hits one of them. 6 slashing. Topsy and Turby both gang up on this one here. Okay. That is 2 hits. That one takes 15 points. And what do Eldeth and Sereth do?
Aldeth will use her longbow. Let's see. Would she be able to see this one?
I would say that's too much stuff in between
Too
her
much
and
clutter?
it. Yeah.
This one?
Yep. That'd be fine.
Okay. Okay. So she'll shoot with her longbow.
13 hits.
13 for 3.
17 hits.
17 for 10.
Another
So
10,
13
awesome.
in total.
Okay. And Sereth?
He will. Can he stand here? Like, they're 5 foot
Sure,
spaces,
yeah, that's fine.
and he will stab this one. Thank you, flanking. Stab. 22
Hits.
for 3 piercing.
Okay. All right.
That's all he's got.
Okay, and that is everybody. Sarah, you're up.
Okay. This cluster of centipedes looks smaller than this
It
one.
does.
Okay, so she'll move here for king, and she'll take out her longsword and try to zigzag through the centipede bodies to hit as many as she can.
Got it. Good hit.
17 for 11.
And those ones are down.
Okay, and then she'll move back into position here. Way to go, Aranis.
Sorry,
Zillion,
didn't
you're
see
up.
them.
Alright, first shot at this one.
Okay. Okay, for 8, and that does kill that one.
And then that one.
Okay. 14 hits for 7.
That's it for me.
Does bring us back to the top of the initiative. All right, these ones have 2 targets, so Aranis, they do go after you. Oh no, Sereth is one. My bad. They do go after Sereth. And does miss Sereth, Aranis, and Sarah. These ones are coming for you too. They do go for Aranis on that one. They have less than. Aranis, that is a flat 20 to hit.
That hits.
for 4 piercing.
Okay, okay.
A small. Very small now. Alright, and this one goes for Prince Darendil. Still has more than half. 16 hits Darendil for 10 piercing on Prince Darendil. Okay, Uranus.
Okay, Vanis will stab this one.
Hits.
13. Oh my god. 9
9
piercing.
does eliminate that swarm.
Okay. I said that's like the more I can do. That's the end of my turn.
Alright, Schrodinger.
I'm going to just send a firebolt to the one between Uranus and Ceres.
Okay. 11 does not hit.
Well, darn. Nevermore will fly off of Trazen and just flap viciously in front of these ones.
Awesome. Okay, so advantage on the next attack made against those guys. And that's going to bring us to the NPCs. We will start with Topsy and Turvy, who cannot get anything done right now. Okay, he can get there. He can't get close enough to do anything. So, Topsy swings short sword. 12 hits, 18 hits. For a total of 12. Prince Darendil lets out some swings. 18 and 22 both hit. For 13. What do Eldeth and Sereth do?
Death will shoot this one.
Okay. 12 hits. 10 does take that one down.
And then she'll switch direction. Would she be able to hit this one?
Too far away. Too much stuff in the way.
Okay.
Arish will stab it. Oh, sorry.
Like if she moved to here, would she be able to?
Yes, but it is difficult terrain. Looks like she can still get there. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Don't
then
I
she'll-
negate that, or is not
Just for
combat?
you, I believe, or is it your whole party?
My whole party.
Oh, is it?
If I've been in the Underdark for more than an hour.
It certainly has been more than an hour. Yeah, okay.
She misses.
A shot towards it has advantage because Nevermore.
Oh.
Yeah.
8.
8 does take that swarm down.
Nice shot, Eldith.
Thank you.
Agreed.
It's crazy how you killed like 8 centipedes with one arrow.
Impressive.
Yeah, you just shish kebab them.
What can I say?
Don't show Trazen, he'll try to eat it.
Oh, don't.
If he was here, oh my god.
With some mushrooms.
Uh,
Are we going this way or are we going down?
If he was here, the comments about those tops of those mushrooms would have been ruthless.
so you had said that we lost the footprints, that we can't actually trace them now at this point, or?
The footprints are impossible to really trace in this thicket, but there is only one way he could have gone.
Okay.
Yeah, giant tunnel, one direction.
Move forward.
Yeah, you know, I say there's only one way he could have gone, but there is a crossroads here. South, especially you, Cillian, you can tell is likely to lead back towards the tunnels you were just in.
Would that keep leading us on point to the east?
everybody. So, as you all move out of the fungal thicket, you see a quite long, uninterrupted stretch of tunnel ahead of you all. As you emerge from the fungal forest, let's have... You know what? Let's continue the trend. Let's have Uranus roll a d20.
Oh. Okay, D20.
19.
That's either good or bad.
Now it's a swarm of the big centipedes from last time.
Yeah.
Way to go.
That's either really good or really bad. Let's be honest, it's gonna be bad.
Nah, you don't know. Don't say that. Okay, so what do y'all do?
Sorry, what? Did we see something, or are we just walking?
No, don't see anything.
Do
Okay.
the tracks reemerge now that we've kind of cleared the?
Make a survival check. They do, in fact. They are easy enough to pick up once you get into here. The little guy ran straight through this tunnel. As you all make your way through this tunnel, you hear something strange. Sounds like a heavy footfall, followed by another and another. And then another set of 3 footfalls. Loud, thunderous, almost like stone impacting on stone.
Did you hear that?
Seems
We
to be
keep
getting
going
closer.
forward. Oh dear.
You all hear Topsy and Turvy say, "Wait!" Together, the twins say it in unison.
What is it?
Listen. Dum dum dum. Dum dum dum. All in threes. They both raise up their clawed, furry hands. 3 footfalls.
What's it mean?
It's a Zorn. And that is when you see that thing come around the corner, the bend up ahead, directly in front of you all. Its one glowing red eye swivels towards all of you. It lets out a mighty roar, and then, in a strange 3-legged gallop, begins charging towards you all. And that is where we pick up next week.